Welcome back, everybody. It has been a long time since we have gotten to do a 2 for Tuesday. I promised you all, and I meant it. Well, 2 promises I kept today. One, I said we follow every case to the end, even if there's not a monthly, weekly, daily update. And you know, my homegirl Susan is backstage, and this is Susan's case. But now things are getting settled down around Camp Brooks. I have a little more time to start squeezing in more shows. I do not expect a lot of people here today, not because harmony isn't important, but because there has been some breaking news in Madeline Soto's case, which we will address tomorrow morning. You see, Brooks, I'm back to talking in third person, as you saw from the other channel yesterday. Look at Debbie on time. That's what I'm talking about, girlfriend. Diva's in the house. Yeah, Brooks needs time to absorb things. I'm not as talented as other, in quotes, creators that can just jump in and start talking. Nope. This creator, in quotes, Brooks, needs a little bit of time to go through it. But anyway, I'm so glad you're here. So I said 2 promises. One, we follow cases to the end. What's the other one? Did I already forget my other promise? That's what happens. That's what happens. You're in good hands, though. Speaking of good hands, is the captain of the ship in chat right now? Where is Pat K? Paging Pat. Can someone go to Discord? She's probably in general right now talking about her gazebo or something. We're going to need her in here. Sarah said, yay, third person talk again. You better believe it. Yes. Brooks talks in third person now. It makes Brooks sound cooler. One of the coolest chicks I've ever met in my life, and like I said, who is what I would consider the expert on this case, is my very dear friend and yours as well, our friend Susan. I'm going to bring her up right now.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
It's showtime, and she's here. How you doing, Susan?
I'm okay. So far, so good. How about you?
Pretty good. I'm telling you, when the news hit the other day that old Kayla's getting paroled, she went through her hearing, and she's going to be out in May. I think I said my usual, someone check on Susan because she's not okay.
I am not okay. I can't believe that witch is going to walk. Well,
she is, and there is absolutely nothing anyone can do about it. That is how sick and disgusting it is when you have to make a deal with the devil. I know people say the system has failed. The system has failed. The justice system has failed. We watched the trial. I believe wholeheartedly that Teardrop is the murderer, hands down.
Oh, I believe that too. But she did nothing to protect that baby. Mm-hmm. And she let him do that in front of her kids. What does that say about her?
What does that say about her? Alicia's already in. Alicia said it's so cool. Karma will get her. He won't be able to stay out of trouble, she said, in her opinion. We're also going to talk about another favorite subject of our friend Susan's. Again, everyone, get the paddles, get the nitro, get the blood pressure cuffs, because Susan will not be okay, because we're also going to talk about Crystal Sorey today, or Sorey is her last name.
No, you had it right. It's Sorey. Or Sorey. I can't wait to get that baby declared dead so she can file her lawsuit.
He wants her declared dead. All right, I'm going to go through this article. Then we're going to get through the comments. Concord, New Hampshire, the estranged wife of New Hampshire man Teardrop Convicted. Remember, he's guilty. He was convicted. The gavel went down of killing his 5-year-old daughter and moving the body around for months. Was granted parole on Thursday, just a couple days ago. More than a year after she was sentenced to prison for lying about where she was when the child was last seen. Step meth, also known as Kayla Montgomery, 33, I'm helping out the Associated Press, everyone, is expected to be released in May, days before her husband is scheduled to be sentenced. She was ordered to complete mandatory prison programs related to substance abuse treatment and have an approved home plan. She will be under intense supervision for at least several months. What is intense supervision, Susan? Please fill me in.
Well, in my opinion, not much more than a piece of paper, because they ain't going to follow up with her.
As I remember, they tried that once before, and she just stopped showing up for her pet. Girl, okay, you have a lot of background noise. What's going on?
There ain't nothing going on here.
Huh, that's weird.
And you cut out.
Like I said to everyone, check on Susan. She may not be okay. This stuff pisses her off to no end.
It does.
She will be under intense supervision for at least several months. Again, we tried that once before with step meth, and she went right back out to do drugs, and the U.S. Marshals had to go beat her ass and pull her out of that apartment.
I remember. I remember it well.
She should have spoken up so that authorities could find the girl and know what happened to her, she told the 3-member panel of the New Hampshire Adult Parole Board during her hearing at the state correctional facility for women. She said, and I'm going to say it in my Candace Wells voice, "I didn't tell the truth about where I was during that time and not being able to cooperate with the detectives. I got all caught up in the situation, and if I was just honest from the beginning, they could have done their job sooner. And I could have continued getting drugs and jumping on Adam's pogo stick."
Yeah, they left that part out. Conveniently.
Michelle Rafferty, who was the foster parent to Harmony, attended Step Meth's hearing and cried as she heard the parole board's decision. She declined to comment afterward. Imagine, she would have done anything to keep her safe.
Yes, she would. She was one adult who really tried to help Harmony. And they just all over her Cheerios.
Oh, those drugs just fell in my arm. Those drugs just kept crawling up my nose. I didn't know what to do. Stupid.
Yes.
Stupid. Let's take a second and welcome everybody back, and then we're going to get to the comments, and we're going to talk about 2 of Adam's lovers, Stepmouth and Crystal Sorey. So glad you guys made it back. I know there's a lot of buzz on the YouTube streets right now. Harmony is important as well. Not that Madeline isn't, not that any of the other cases aren't, but we always say that we will always follow these cases to the end. Correct, my friend Susan?
That's correct. She's so important.
Yes, she is, and she breaks everyone's heart. Kelly Miller, beautiful picture. I have to tell you, I just watched yesterday's show on the other channel. Oh my word, I laughed all the way through it. So did Brooks.
We all, yeah, just me did too.
Just me did too. Thank goodness Pat was there to keep everyone calm down.
Poor Pat.
I'm gonna do a meme instead of Swayze in Roadhouse. It's gonna be Pat.
That'd be cool. I gotta see that.
Yep. Fun to Ski said, "What would Pat do?" And hashtag BBU.
PB.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Oh, we'll do it more often. All right, let's get to the comments because I made a community post about step meth getting out in May, and you all had a lot to say. On my community post, I asked, how long will it take for Kayla to re-offend? And I mean in any way. I mean drugs. I mean jaywalking. I mean any of it.
Hopefully soon.
Our friend Aggie said, that's what I'm saying, Brooks. How long can she make it on the outside by herself without Adam? Unless she finds a new pogo stick. And that, my friends, is what will happen. Because she is a creature of habit. And we know what habits she likes. She likes dick and drugs. And maybe not even that order. So she is going to need to find her another man to supply all of the above. What do you think, Susan?
I believe you're right. I think the drugs will always come first. And she was going to say anything that she can to get out of jail. She's going to play their game. She knows how to play the system.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing it all of her life. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, babe.
I was just going to say she's been doing it her whole life.
And let us not forget that when she was arrested for welfare fraud and she was confronted, I can't wait to see that interrogation, and told, we know Harmony's dead. We know she hasn't been seen since December of 2019. We know all these things. Mm-hmm. She could have caved then, but she didn't. They even said, hey, there's a huge reward fund. You might be entitled to part of it if you tell us what we need to know. But she held out and she held out and she held out until then they pinched her on perjury. Then she knew she was a rat trapped in the corner.
She knew that she was part of it and she couldn't talk.
Mm-hmm. Claire is vegan said if she was honest from the beginning, she would have called the police emergency line when Harmony was being abused. See, that's what Stepmeth said. If I was honest from the beginning, the detectives could have done their job. No, if you were honest from the beginning, Harmony would not be dead.
Exactly. She's so nasty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Lake Life Mama said, so she helped cover up a crime and now she's going free? Yep, that's what happens when you make a deal with the devil. Diane Calvo said, these judges need schooled. Makes me sick. She's just as guilty as he is for what she did to that body. You think she's rehabilitated from drugs and from lying? No, she's not. And she did horrible things to Harmony's body too. Judge, you are wrong for this decision. All right, well, in this decision, I will say, it wasn't the judge. It wasn't the judge. It was the parole board, and this was the deal that the DA had to make with her, even though the chief didn't want to do it. He wanted to hang her up too. But that was the information they needed to keep Teardrop off the streets.
We still haven't heard anything about the stimulus money.
I'm still waiting on that. I keep thinking they've got some ace in their pocket they're going to come back and get her with.
Oh, I wish they would.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Bree made it in. Diana Howry said, infuriating. Christina, you are so right. She faked taking meds for addiction while in jail. Yes, she did. And she also knew no contact with Teardrop. But she was getting messages to him through his father, who, by the way, passed away. And Teardrop Sr. His death is under investigation. Go figure. Go figure. Welcome back, Samantha. Love you, girlfriend. Woo, I don't even know what to make of it. I really don't. All right, let's start with Crystal Sorey. All right.
Okey-doke.
She claims to be the advocate for Harmony. She claims to be Harmony's favorite person.
Another one. I'm more important. Talk about me.
Mhm.
Oh,
So let's see what it says after Teardrop's verdict. And don't be mistaken, all of these women picked Teardrop to breed with.
yeah.
Nellie Miller said, when did the dad pass? Teardrop's father passed away 3 days before he was set to testify in Harmony's murder trial. You can't tell me that isn't sketch, sketch, sketch.
Awfully convenient. Because he was supposed to testify and then he comes up dead.
Yeah.
Kind of like, what was her name? Kristen?
Kind of like
Kelsey.
Kelsey Smalls.
Yeah. A lot of convenient deaths showing up.
Mm-hmm. And they said they knew Kelsey Smalls knew something. Not that she was involved in Harmony's murder, disappearance, cover
I
up.
don't believe that for a minute.
But after living in the car with Teardrop all that time, they knew that she knew more. And then she's dead.
And she was hanging around before she disappeared.
Yep. And I want to know how long it's going to take for Stepmeth to start communicating with Teardrop in jail. She's still in love with him.
Of course she is. And I'm wondering if it's in the agreement that she can't.
I have read it over, and there is nothing specific about Teardrop. Unless I missed that clause, there's nothing specific about that. It does
figure.
It does say she's not supposed to congregate with other felons. Well, that's all she knows.
Yeah. Where's she going?
Yeah. That's all she knows. Good Lord.
As the verdict has been announced, we have family members leaving the court. Let's take a listen.
So you were here most days.
Yeah.
Each trial, I guess, was there anything that stuck out to you? How hard was it for you to hear some of these awful details?
I've heard it so much over the last 4 years. It just was a lot different hearing it from their mouths than reading it. It was very hard. But I have to stay strong for my boys. I'm going on 5 years clean, and I'm proud, very proud of that. And
I'm proud of her too. She's showing off her acrylics. Huh. Nasty.
Well, and what I want to know is, she's broke as a joke, but she's got money for those talons on her fingers and that fishing tackle in her nose. Who paid for that?
Yeah, who did? I got an idea. Us.
AV said it's not about you, Crystal. So here you are on the steps to talk about the murder conviction of your ex who killed the daughter that you two had between you, which you both epically failed. And all you want to do is say, I'm so proud I've been clean for 5 years. I'm so proud I've been clean for 5 years.
Good for you. And I mean that.
I know you do.
Do better by your children. But you're not going to money grab off Harmony. That's bullshit.
Mm-hmm. It's always been about her. Even when she was caught lying over and over. It's still always about her.
And this didn't impact that in any way. I know people thought that, but it didn't, and this can only make me stronger from here on out. I'm her voice. I'm the person that's going to carry her on besides my loved ones, carry her memory, and make sure that no one ever forgets about her.
Crystal, I'm sure it's hard to hear. Do you believe the version of events that they said happened in the courtroom? Do you believe that's what happened to your daughter?
What the defense said?
What the prosecutors said?
Yes.
Kayla said?
Yes. I believe that.
You've gotten your strength for all
fact
this.
that, you know, Adam wasn't in the courtroom even on the day that they delivered the verdict. What is your reaction that he wasn't here today to hear those words and sit there and listen to that guilty verdict?
He's a coward. He's a coward. He's always been a coward. Hence why he did what he did. He took away from the people that loved her because he couldn't hack that he didn't have control. That's all he cared about, was control of everything in his life. She wasn't anything to him.
Crystal, what's next?
Oh, that face.
We can agree on one thing, what
Mhm.
she said about Adam.
Mhm.
Other than that, nah. And look at that little smirk. What's next? I saw it.
That's what I was getting ready to ask you. Look at that. She cocks her head. What's next? She's going to get Harmony declared dead, which should be easy enough to do. But if she knows all these things about Teardrop, why wasn't she going out of her way to protect Harmony from him?
Exactly. She failed her first.
This wasn't new behavior.
She knew how he was,
Mm-hmm.
but she wanted to be the end all with Jameson. Oh, look what I'm doing.
And I think she is underestimating the two men that adopted Jameson because they are smart dudes. One is an attorney in DC. And when her lawsuit starts filing, going through the system to sue whoever in the system failed Harmony, and there's plenty of them, they are going to put an addendum to that lawsuit that the money or part of it goes to Jameson. Mark.
I really hope you're right. I really hope you're right.
My words.
Good. I'll mark that down. Because they're letting her in Jameson's life. I'm thinking they're giving her a pass. Unfortunately.
Well, I mean, on one hand, it looks like that the dads are giving her a pass, but on the other hand, they're just trying to do what's fair for Jameson.
Yeah.
And they've already called her out for lying. They're like, no, she's mistaken. That's not how that happened. As Hagen said, Crystal lost custody. How in the world can she be Harmony's voice? This is insane. Exactly. It's called the balls of a burglar.
Yeah. Only in America can you get money for being you know what?
For being a shit parent.
There you go. The words were stuck. It's like, I can't with her. I can't with anyone trying to get money off Harmony.
Lindsay said, pardon me. Glad you're here, Lindsay. And please don't jump on my back. Nope. That's very rare. Somebody has to really want it to get that. But wasn't she in custody at some points or in rehab? Crystal has been in and out of rehab all of Harmony's life, and it's always been a condition of her sentence. Okay, she said, therefore, couldn't get all custody or even inquire about it. Harmony was in custody of the state. Yes, you are right. But when she got cleaned up, and at that time, then she had lost Jameson. Then she gets pregnant again. It's one thing after another. She wasn't locked up. It wasn't like her rehab. She couldn't go to court. She could have advocated for Harmony and said, listen, you can't let her go to Adam. No, I'm cleaning myself up. She is fine in foster care. Michelle loves her. Michelle adores her. Jameson is being adopted. She voluntarily let Jameson be adopted, which is a good thing. I'm going to give it to her there because Jameson has an amazing life.
She should have been advocating for harmony. She was the one who was in danger, and she knew it.
She knew it. She admits it. And so when she said, I couldn't be at that hearing because Jameson's was more important. So it was very telling when Blair, Jameson's adoptive father, one of them, said, no, there was no overlapping court hearings. And so, I mean, it sounded good talking to Vinny, but that's not what happened.
She wanted to look like the one who's putting her child's needs in front of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong child.
Well, the governor's report spelled it out, all her lies. So that's what we got.
A lot. I just can't say yet.
Do you plan to be there for sentencing?
Right now, as this verdict comes down?
She's here with me. And she is the one that keeps me strong every day.
He was held accountable today. Is there other people that should be held accountable for what happened, including the state of Massachusetts, the state of New Hampshire?
I won't talk about that.
Will you be there for sentencing and give an impact statement? He is supposed to be there for sentencing. Are you looking forward to seeing him and maybe confronting him?
Yes, I'll be there. And I'll be looking him in the face while I say my impact statement because he can't get away from that.
Okay, let's write this down. She said she's going to give an impact statement and she will be there for sentencing.
We'll see. I don't no doubt that she'll be there, but she's not going to be there for harmony. She's going to be there and looking for them cameras because she wants this to look good on her suit.
Oh, Lindsay, girl, you're fine. Lindsay said, gotcha, and I hope I didn't come across sideways. No way. It takes to come at us sideways.
We value all opinions.
And you can defend Crystal. I mean, people see different ways, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I hope she's clean. She needs to do better by her children. I don't wish her bad. I get angry. I don't agree with her, but I don't wish her bad.
Nope, not at all.
Now, Kayla, we got a different idea.
After all is said and done, would you say justice has been served for your daughter?
We're almost there.
Crystal,
We're almost there.
Crystal, they mentioned that in closing, that your daughter was robbed of dignity, she was robbed of a peace, and she was robbed of a tombstone, a place to go. She's still out there somewhere. How important is that part of this? It's not over for you.
That's still a huge part of it. It's not over. It's not going to be over until she's found, and we are still looking. The police, we as a family, we are still looking.
And Crystal, your message to everyone that has really been impacted and touched by this case?
I just want to thank everybody for the love and the support, and for the people that believed in me and reached out to me this whole time and never did me. The people that know me have known my whole life. They know how much I loved my daughter, and they know how much I fought for her, and I did everything I could. And when I didn't have anything left, I still tried. So for the people that doubted me, they don't matter to me. They're not a thought in my mind.
Do you have a message for Adam today if he's listening to any of this or heard the verdict? What would you say to him today?
That I hope that what he did plays over in his mind every single waking moment that he lives on this earth. And I hope that he never falls asleep without seeing her beautiful face.
Did you think that
another thing we agree on?
Did you ever think that this?
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that. I hope every time he goes to sleep, because, he's going to have some dark days in that cell.
I hope he does. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
I would wallpaper the inside of the cell with pictures of Harmony.
Yeah. And that stupid bag. I can't stand him. Greasy Balloon and Bubba. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely nuts. Well, let's get to step myth. Actually, before we get to step myth and her parole hearing, let's take a second to remember Harmony.
Look at that face.
Look at that little face, and woo, here comes Bonnie with the brutal truth. They are all just trash and won't be anything other. Harmony was nothing but a check for them, and now she wants something after her death. Trash.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Bonnie can.
That says it all.
You are so right, Bonnie. And now you want even more after her, after what she endured.
I'm surprised she didn't show off a tattoo.
I'm surprised we haven't seen that either.
Yeah. And listen to Kayla. She's going to drop some code words from her group.
Well, you better believe it. Now, also, remember, Kayla has lost parental rights to all of her children. She has 4.
Yes, she did, but she's appealing because it was unfair. They used her testimony against her.
Yep. 3 are with Teardrop. 1 is with another dude, and he has always taken care of their son. But she, back to what Bonnie said, she wants the kids. She wants the kids. Why? So you can collect welfare? Why? You had every chance to be a mama, and you failed.
Mm-hmm.
This is a parole hearing for Kayla Montgomery, number 92912. Present today is Chairman Roger Phillips of the New Hampshire Adult Parole Board. Also present today are parole board members Horace Enriquez and Tricia Thompson. Let the record reflect also in Tennessee representing Victim Services is Lauren Avery, and representing Victim Services from Attorney General's office is Amy Van Hawken. This is hearing number 1.
And we'll begin our questioning.
Great with the detectives. I got all caught up in the situation, and if I just was honest from the beginning, they could have done their job sooner.
And what was their job?
To find Harmony and know what happened to her, and that's it.
So what did you actually tell the jury that was untrue?
That I got dropped off at my work, which was Dunkin' Donuts, and at 6 a.m. and Adam brought Harmony to meet her mother. And when he came back to pick me up at 2 p.m., she was not in the car, and that was the lie.
I guess the comes to the question was, so Harmony was your stepdaughter, correct?
Yes.
Was she part of your family?
Yes.
So how were you?
Okay, I want to talk about this comment real quick before we get back to it. S. Hagen said Kayla's mom has the 3 babies that Kayla has with Teardrop. S. Hagen says, in my opinion, Kayla's mom should not have those 3 babies either. I agree with you.
Wholeheartedly. She's not, no. She enabled Kayla And she's too old to be having all them kids.
She has covered for her daughter, Kayla. We call her stepmeth many times. And she is going to be watched because Kayla is a danger to children, period.
Yeah.
And she has no business going around the children she has with him. They already have a hard enough row in front of them, knowing the repressed memories they have in their little brains from they're going to read on the internet someday that their sister was chopped up and in a maternity bag stuck between them in a store.
Unfortunately, that's true. And I'm still questioning old grandma about that cooler in the walkway. Something tells me she looked in it and that's why she kicked him out.
Something about the cooler, Kate's mom, and her wanting them gone so fast tells me something more was going on than just the brass tacks. Because we all know when nothing's ever just a simple story, unless it is simple. But this cannot be.
It's too convoluted for me to believe that.
Way too.
Protecting your family by telling this online.
I didn't protect them at all.
Because that's what, your personal statement talks about that is that you were, the justification for lying was that you were protecting your family.
Yeah.
What were you protecting them from?
From losing our other children, from our family falling apart, even though it was falling apart, and not being held accountable for the actions that happen.
Dropping them code words.
So you were sort of acknowledging the fact that you did lie.
Yes.
Correct. So how have you learned how to tell the truth? What tools have you learned?
With the tools that I've learned is understanding situations and being able to deal with them and not hide anything, and ask for help and let people know when something's wrong or it's not, or something doesn't feel right.
Okay, I'm going to help homeskill it out. Did she make it past 4th grade?
Yeah.
She knew these things were going on. She was offered help. We heard the trial. We heard people had reached out to Kayla and she refused. Why? Because all she cares about, or at least at that time, is the dick and drugs.
Exactly. And not in that order. I think it was the drugs first, and she used the dick to get what she wanted.
There you go, girlfriend.
And being able to just understand situations and know that it's the best to say what's on your mind and say what you know, and just be honest and talk about what you're going through, or if there's anything wrong, just be honest about it.
You've taken a number of sort of Department of Corrections courses here, journaling and Choose Love. I saw that.
Yes.
You spent a lot of time with the Family Connection Center.
Yes.
Did the Focus program.
I'm still currently in it.
And what band are you?
Black.
And when do you think you'll graduate?
Between the end of this month and beginning of next month.
So next 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
You had a couple hiccups getting through the focus program. What was that about?
Because I was cheating my medication. So I got, they took me out of the program.
Okay, so she has medication during this family focus program she's in jail, and she was cheeking her medication. You know why? Because she wants to do drugs in jail.
Mm-hmm. She's going to save them up and do them at once so she can get a buzz.
Yep.
Or sell it for something better.
Mm-hmm. Lindsay said, do we know the terms of her parole? Well, to me, they're pretty damn loose. She has to voluntarily go in for
check-ins and
drug tests. She's not supposed to be around other felons. She's not supposed to try to communicate with her children. She has to stay in counseling, which is paid for by the state of New Hampshire. And back to Crystal for a second. She's got all the friends and all the money, all the gas money and everything to get to court hearings now, but it was impossible at the time to save Harmony. She couldn't make the 30-minute trip from Lowell, Massachusetts up to Manchester, New Hampshire to check on Harmony. But you put
I'll tell you one better. She couldn't make a welfare check.
Yeah.
All that would have required would be a phone call. She couldn't be bothered. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail you. That just popped into my head.
Nope, you're 100% right, my friend. And, as far as Kayla not being able to ask for help, when they were at the shelter, it's mainly geared towards women and children. But she complained about Harmony dripping on her.
Yeah.
And she gets pregnant laying under Harmony's body in the shelter.
That's depraved. But I guess whatever Adam wants, Adam gets. Nasty.
The point with these people, and I mean, I'm in the minority. That look, you get one shot. I sound like M. You get one shot. If you can't take care of the one, and the government's taking care of it, fix them.
Yep.
Don't bring no more babies in.
I agree.
Because they're either going to get neglected.
Everyone is entitled to a second chance. I'll agree. Get help. If you're not going to actively look for help, then you don't need any more kids.
You don't need any more. And they use them. It's babies for benefits. There's a girl in the Crime Lines and Lies Facebook group that's always arguing about abortion. Look, I get it. The sect of society we're talking about, they don't want that. They want to have the child so they get money for the child, period. We're not talking about someone that wants to finish college, which I'm not even going to get into that debate. Forget about that. Forget what I said. But when I said to her the other day, I said, have you heard of babies for benefits? They'll just keep on and keep on.
It's real. And they play the system.
And to the point, she witnessed Harmony's murder and continued collecting government benefits for Harmony. I don't even know what to say.
And I had to wait to get back in.
Did you have to do anything to get back in? Or just
No, you just wait until they put you in again.
Is cheating of falsification is a line?
Yes.
So why would you do that?
Because I wasn't in the right headspace at the time.
Code word.
Tell me about So where are you in your addiction care right now?
I am on the MAT program with Suboxone, and having the tools that I am actually taking seriously and working on myself with the focus program is
So
a big part.
Give me a tool that you're using fairly routinely.
Instead of, I'm being honest, I'm not lying, and distorted thinking, which you end up changing your thoughts. I could tell you, I could lie to you and say things, but I'm not.
Why would you? You won out.
Mm-hmm. Watch how her eyes move away. Amy in Boston said, okay, cheeking your meds. Cheeking your meds. That's not being dishonest. Sounds dishonest to me.
That's distorted thinking. Is she cellmates with Ruby? Hildebrand? Is it Ruby?
Yeah, Ruby and Jody. Yeah.
Jody Hildebrand. I'm awful with names.
And now Susie Sue just came in. Corey Bixby. Cody Bixby's father was found guilty. I've been keeping up with that on another channel. I can't cover them all. I wish I could. So now we have 3 recent cases. The West trial, Harmony Montgomery, and Cody Bixby. That murder convictions without a body. So what is going on in Hawkins County, Tennessee is unfriggin' acceptable.
That's right.
And what is going on in the case of Kyron Horman is unacceptable. If these other prosecutors and juries can figure it out, then you better figure it out in other places. Unacceptable.
I am nervous right now and anxious.
I had a question.
And yeah, so.
What's your question, girlfriend?
What date was it that she was cheeking her medication and she had to wait until they re-enrolled her in that class?
You know what? She didn't say, so I don't know.
Yeah. They wanted her out of jail. That's it. I'm sorry.
No, it's an important question. I would like to know too.
I'm like trying my best to concentrate and not.
Well, the only people you have to talk to are the 3 of us. Okay. So you've got these tools working on yourself. What's your home plan?
That I am working with my case manager on. We're looking for sober living. I'm looking for any sober living housing, but one that I would feel safe and know that I'm safe.
Well, that's a real punch in the gut, because when did Harmony feel safe?
Exactly. You were supposed to be protecting her. You were supposed to be safe.
Amy in Boston said, I have a feeling Kayla will go right back to what she knows on the street and not last very long. Dynamite said, Kayla, you're not safe anywhere, girl. Bonnie, coming back in with the common sense, said tears for herself. Sick. There's Dynamite again. Why are you worried about being safe? Harmony wasn't safe.
Because she knows what happened with Kelsey, and she's afraid it's going to happen to her. In my opinion.
Oh, boom. You're exactly right. She knew that Kelsey Smalls, who was a friend of hers and living in the car with Teardrop, She went to rehab and sober living, and then she's found deader than a doornail. That's what she's thinking about. Teardrop's gonna get to. Wow.
You're right. Exactly.
You are so right. That's exactly what she's saying. Amy in Boston said she wants witness protection. Boom. This is the reason I love doing these shows. We all have to put our heads together. That's why I say I'm the least important person on this show. And tell me, why was Uncle Kevin around every time someone drops dead?
Makes you kind of wonder, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you need to, as you know, finish the focus program.
Yes.
Have a home plan to be released.
Yes.
Now, I want to come back a little bit to, you had a tough time in the system, a lot of disciplinaries.
Yeah.
You had a lot of work-offs.
Yes.
Have you finished those hours?
Yes.
And the good news is you've had no disciplinary since July, roughly.
Yes.
Starting to pay attention to things.
Yeah.
Sorry, just have all these little notes here. So tell me about you. You have 4 other children, correct?
Yes.
And what's happening with them?
My oldest son lives with his father and stepmother and brothers. My 3 youngest, which are also my husband, ex-husband's children, they are living with my mother. They've been with her for the past almost 2.5 years. And I ended up losing my rights to them because of my crime that I am connected to. The affidavit got out, and I believe that they used it against me, which I understand.
Not fair.
For my kids. So I ended up losing my kids. I lost the rights to my kids.
Right.
And the affidavit that got out about Harmony,
You mean the truth?
and what it was saying and details that it was saying.
You mean the truth, Home Skillet? That's what you mean. It's a public record. You see, citizens of the United States, we have the right to know when another citizen is locked up. We have the right to know why. We have a right to know what the people we pay and we employ. We have a right to know what they did.
Especially if we're paying for the care of their children. And don't believe for a second that we're not.
Brooks has a right to know. Susan has a right to know. Stillwaters has a right to know. So she's the affidavit that was put out. Let me tell you, girlfriend, they didn't see it on the news. They were hand-delivered a copy.
Yes, they were. And too bad that they wouldn't do that for Harmony. That judge makes me so mad.
This fake cry, look at this.
Oh, they're not being treated fairly.
Kayla knows. So does Candace. They know. They can turn it on. They have had controlled groups of people where they will say, try to cry, try to cry.
I feel and believe that the CASA and the judge in that case, I believe that they were using the affidavit against me. So I lost my kids.
Good.
You get those rights back.
I can, yeah. I put an appeal in.
Okay. So that's sort of But are you allowed to communicate with your children?
I haven't been. I'm not, well, DCYF still has custody of them, but they've been living with my mother.
No, I understand that, but are you allowed to communicate with them?
I have not talked to them. I know my mother has been taking care of them.
I understand, but you have not.
No, I
because
haven't
you're
been
not
able
allowed to, or because
I don't know if it's because I'm not allowed to, or my mom's just not choosing to allow me to talk to them because I lost my rights and DCYF has custody of them. So I don't know.
Okay, it seems that she's welling up to get pissed here because she doesn't like this. Chrissy, you are
Yep.
so right. No tears talking about losing her children. This is all self-serving behavior to get out of jail and get back to the D&D, the dick and drugs. That is her life. That is what she likes. That is the reason she listened to Harmony Montgomery behind her, living in the car as she ate her Chris sandwich from Burger King, moan until her little life left her body. She's thinking and she's getting pissed. She knows why
Yep.
she lost her rights.
Yes, she does.
She knows exactly why.
If it's because of that.
So tell me, you make a statement in your personal statement here about you tried to right this wrong.
Yes.
How have you tried to do that?
By telling the truth about what happened to Harmony and
Spit it
being
out.
honest and being in compliance with the detectives and the state.
Code words. Code words. Not be a better person.
I have just a couple of questions. This is your first felony conviction, is that correct?
Yes.
You had some misdemeanors.
Yes.
And in one of the prior misdemeanors, you were required to do a 28-day program, is that correct?
Okay, her first felony, of course, they're going to consider that, but she should have other felonies, but they forgave that so she would be state's witness. It is important to remember that in the Harmony Montgomery case, and some people don't like me saying it, but in the Gannon Stout case, the ones that did the right thing, eventually, it's because they decided not to prosecute for their cooperation. I'm talking about Kim Frayne. I'm talking about Kayla Montgomery. I am talking about Harley, Gannon Stout's stepsister. That gets me in a lot of trouble. Everyone knows when you bring up Harley, they lose their mind.
Only when it benefits them.
And she is still fertile as the desert in Egypt. She is going to get right back to it, and she is going to have another baby in the next year or two.
Oh, quit it.
Telling you.
God. Oh, I know you are. I'm just in denial here.
I'm trying to be.
So many people
And
can't
did you
have babies.
accomplish that?
No, I did not until after I was incarcerated and got put into a 28-day program.
And was that in county?
Yes.
All right. And how do you compare that program with Focus?
For myself, I don't think I was really ready to actually pay attention when I was in that 28-day program and really work on myself.
Well, the problem with addiction is it's a disease of denial.
Yeah.
But people can get clean and sober when they accept the fact.
Yeah.
You know,
And
they're
that-
hooked.
Yeah.
And then, once that acceptance begins, then slowly that denial goes away.
Yeah.
And that's the whole idea of whether it be the 28-day program, and I'm sure of focus also.
Yeah, when I got kicked out of focus the first time and for cheating my medication, I
The first time?
was just, when I got put into the program, I was like, oh, I just have to get this done and I can leave. But after getting kicked out and being put back in the program, I've actually been working on myself.
And when you say cheating, what do you mean by that? Rather than swallowing the medication?
Because I just kept it under my tongue and showed them my mouth, and they caught me cheating my medication instead of taking it properly.
And why didn't you take it properly?
I wasn't in the right headspace, and I just didn't really care at that time.
What did you do with them?
I ended up having to spit it out.
You just spit it out and got rid of it. You didn't share it with anyone. You didn't give it to anybody.
No,
else.
the officer took it. Like, yeah.
So had you done it prior though and never got caught, or is this
No.
the only time you did it and got caught?
That was the first time, and I did it one other time, and that was like close together.
She just told on herself. I did it that one other time.
One. Well, how many one
But
other
I didn't.
times do you have?
Yeah. And she got kicked out the first time?
Mm-hmm.
How many times did she get kicked out?
Yeah. How many times was she kicked out of that program? I'd like to know as well.
And
Not
then
DA.
I haven't done it since.
So I just have a couple. You've been on probation before in the past.
Yes.
How'd that go?
Not good.
Not very well, right?
No.
Yeah. So do you understand that probation and parole are pretty similar?
Yes.
Do you understand that the standard conditions are pretty similar?
Yes.
Do you know what the standard conditions are? The gist of them. I'm not going to ask you to read them verbatim, but do you know one big one I'm looking for? You can't lie.
Oh, yeah.
You can't lie, right?
Right.
It's the same on probation, it's the same on parole, right?
Yeah.
And it is a technical violation, but with you, right, you can bet they're gonna be looking, right? They're gonna pay attention to that technical violation because that's the charge you're here for, right?
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, how are you gonna be able to deal with that? How are you gonna be able to deal, because you've got some pressure on you. You're young and you've got a lot of pressure, right? Some of it you brought on by your choices, right?
Yeah.
Can't minimize that.
No.
But how are you gonna deal with the pressure in the community and be able to keep yourself together and not lie? Because it's hard, but once you tell one, you're beat.
Yeah.
Because
I think their focus is way off. You
Yeah.
see, her crime isn't just lying. Her crime is herself and what a shit human being she is. You see, that's what it is. It's not her being at Dunkin' Donuts or not. It's not about her collecting benefits on Harmony, knowing that she witnessed Harmony's murder. The whole can't tell a lie, that is ridiculous. We get that. We get that part. And I guess they're focusing on the crime she was in. If they think step meth is never going to tell a lie again, they're crazy. Her problem is the dick and the drugs. How are you going to keep her off of drugs? How long?
Until somebody offers it to her.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think for a minute that she's not going to accidentally on purpose run into her kids at the park.
Mm-hmm. How long does it take these people to grow up?
Not long enough.
you're not gonna be able to keep up.
Right. Yeah.
Right? And the microscope's gonna be on you.
Yeah.
How are you gonna deal with that?
I know that.
How are you gonna deal with that?
All they can do is take it one day at a time.
Do you understand that your probation officer or your parole officer are your lifeline?
Yes.
They really are your lifeline. They're there to help you. They're there to guide you. They're not there to try to get you back in here as fast as you can get here. You need to use them as a resource.
Yeah.
And that's hard. It's hard to trust, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's hard to trust law enforcement with you right now.
Yeah.
Right? I know. I can see it written all over your face.
I don't
So
think
what do you
that law
think
enforcement
the
was
big
the bad guy.
differences are, the supervision for you with probation and parole? Supervision levels.
I feel that parole is higher than probation.
Higher how though? What do you think that your parole officer is gonna have you do differently that your probation officer didn't have you do?
I honestly don't know.
Probably have to report more, probably have more drug screens, probably more home visits,
Yeah.
right? Probably check on programming more, right? A little stricter, right? So, you know, you talked about your children a little bit.
Yeah.
You went through Family Connections.
Yeah.
Never at any point during Family Connections, with all the resources they have, did you want to read a book and record it and send it home to your family for your kids to listen to? Did you ever want to do any of those things that they had? Because I know that that's an
I
option.
have.
Okay.
I've done the Cliff thing where you get books and you can send them. I have wanted to do the recording, but I don't want to do it and they can't listen to it, or it's just hard right now with the kids.
It's hard, but do you think that it will make you feel like you're trying by doing nothing, right? Because it sounds like you really want a relationship still with your children, but you just don't know if you can go there.
Yeah, because it's up to my mother.
Yeah. But there's all these options and things that you could have done to try to at least try to have some sort of relationship. You don't need to know if they get there. You just need to know that you did it.
I have been doing stuff.
Okay.
I've been doing the Cliff thing. I've been making blankets. I've been making pictures. I've been doing a lot of things.
Okay.
And I'm still in the FCC program. I've still been doing parent support groups.
I think kids need a little bit more than your pictures. I mean, you draw pictures. Yeah. I've been drawing pictures. I've been coloring pictures for my kids. No. And if her mother allows her to come around those children, I am going to lose my mind. She's going to have to figure out a different way to face the demons, like Dynamite said. Recovery is not an easy process.
Mother's enabled her whole life. You think that's going to change?
Lorna said, look, she doesn't even want to take suggestions. She should not be allowed to see the kids. Hey, you know what?
She don't want to put the work in because she knows what's coming.
Yep.
She's going to go out and start using, in my opinion.
Parenting class and the healthy relationships, and I see Miss V once a week with the support groups.
And you talked about that, disciplinary was an issue for you when you first got here. You completed all your extra duty hours.
Yes.
What did you do for extra duty hours here?
Shoveling. I did most of it was shoveling, ice scooping, cleaning the day room, the windows, the workout room. Just did a lot of cleaning.
You have a job here?
Yes.
Well, there you go. Solved. Because she has to get employment. Obviously, Dunkin' Donuts hire her, but she obviously knows how to shovel snow and break up ice and clean the day room. She can be a housekeeper. Housekeepers make a ton of money if they do it right.
That's scary. Would you want her in your house?
Not if I had kids. She can come clean mine. I'll be like, all right, fine, just stay away from my cat. I'm just kidding,
She'd
Susan.
be going through your medicine cabinet. I know. She'd be going through the medicine cabinets.
Yep.
She's not picky.
So my last question is, what are your goals? What is your 5-year goal from today? If you're granted parole, what is your goal?
I don't even, just my recovery is number one. And just keep doing the right thing. That's just what's been in my mind, to be honest.
So when you went to school growing up, right, some people say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a police officer. What did you want to be?
I wanted to be a veterinarian.
Still want to be a veterinarian?
Yeah.
I wouldn't let her watch a pet rock.
She wanted to
Yet.
She'd be lucky to get a job.
There you are.
She would be lucky to get a job as a veterinarian technician. I would not.
She's selling drugs. She can't be allowed around them.
You want to hear a crazy story? You know, we had to go get, my husband had to go get the gabapentin for OJ so we could calmly move him. When he got over there, there was police and stuff all around the area. Somebody broke into the veterinarian clinic, OJ's doctor's office, and they were stealing the medication that they use like to sedate cats and dogs and alligators and snakes and all that stuff. Anything to get the fix.
Yep. And she will never be a veterinarian because of that.
Would you trust her with veterinarian medication?
No, I wouldn't. She'd probably give sugar pills and cheat the other stuff, as she likes to say.
Mm-hmm.
And your poor pet would be in pain.
Mm-hmm. Cheek it. Well, she can go work at Burger King. How about that? I'm done with Burger King. Only Sud still eats Burger King in here. Speaking of OJ, I couldn't find him. He's got too much house to go through. He decided to make himself at home in in the other bedroom.
Aren't you lucky? Or he could be plotting your death.
Everyone's got stuff to do. We're in here talking about Harmony Montgomery, and what's OJ do? Just decides to curl up in the bed and take himself a little nap. Yeah, don't mess with his good time.
Sounds like a good goal. Give yourself something to strive for, right? Working on your recovery is fantastic, but you got to do something for yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, your mind's not going to stop. Right? If your mind doesn't stop, what are we going to do?
Relapse.
We're going to go back and self-medicate. And then you're going to get in the cycle again. You've got to take time for yourself. You got to figure it out. It's not easy. You're going to feel selfish, but you have to do it.
That's how I already feel.
No. Life is hard. Harder when
I
you're a
have
dumbass.
You're on the MAP program now.
Yes.
And in taking that medication, do you have any adverse side effects?
No.
Does it help as far as the feeling of compulsion is concerned? The compulsion to use?
Yes. I don't have cravings or anything like that, or the urge to want to use.
And also, you've seen behavioral health behind the walls. Also.
Yes.
And you take any medication? I don't need to know names of anything, but you take any medication?
Yes.
The only thing that we're asking that for is, as far as the parole conditions are concerned, if you grant parole, we want to include things like that.
Yeah.
All right. And your minimum parole date is soon coming up. It's in May of this year, is it not? May 3rd of this year.
Yes.
And you realize that date is the date that you could be released, provided you complete focus and any other required program.
Yes.
On the wall.
but if you, um, and sometimes, I want to indicate, I guess there was you received some earned time credit by doing certain things. Was it breaking free? Or?
I did Breaking Free, Choose Love program, and
All right, I'll tell you what, I've heard 4 programs that she has in to teach her how to act right. Not that Amber said,
Yeah.
wonder how long it'll be before she's back behind bars for parole violation. Anybody want to make a bet?
No.
It didn't take her long the last time, and the U.S. Marshals had to go and thump her in the head and bring her back in. That's what I want to know. How long is it gonna take? Jazzy says 2 weeks.
To me, she's getting off of work. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Not that Amber said 6 months. Misty says I give her 3 to 6 months. Slim wants to know, Brooks, can we have a baby shower for Kayla with closest guest to the actual baby's birth members live? I am Slim. You're wearing me out. And her parole, I have read 5 years and I've heard 7. See, these are, in Kayla's world, this is an impossible task for her to have to conform to societal norms for that much time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, either way, she is going to be out May 3rd unless she does something behind bars between now and then. I was under the impression when you get paroled, you walk right out, but she'll be there until May 3rd. Now, as we know, Crystal Sorey is what I call her, Harmony Montgomery's biological mother, has been pushing for the state to declare her dead so she can make decisions on behalf of her estate, meaning she can sue the state of New Hampshire, she can sue the state of Massachusetts, she can write a book. In anything she can do.
Yeah. Makes me sick. Did she pick up her toothbrush? That's the only estate that baby has until she files that lawsuit.
Well, she wants to sue Adam's estate, his father's estate. She wants to sue DCYF in New Hampshire. And guess who's going to pay all that back? The taxpayers of New Hampshire, the taxpayers of Massachusetts. Don't get me wrong, there is insurance. But if it goes above their term limits, it goes to the taxpayers. Now, they've all made money off of Harmony.
Yeah.
They've all made money off of Harmony. And I'm telling you, I've been wrong before, but Blair and his husband that have adopted Jameson and are wonderful men, I have a feeling they're going to get in on this, and there's going to be an addendum to make sure whatever she collects, a portion goes to Jameson. And if I was Crystal, I'd keep my nose clean. And I mean that, not just that junk she has hanging out of it. I'd keep my nose clean because the discovery process for you, girlfriend, is going to be brutal.
Yes, it will be. And Jameson, I have no problem with him getting the money, but she doesn't need a dime.
Nope. Because she has all the funds, all the time to get in front of news cameras, but she didn't have any time to give when Harmony was in grave danger, and that's according to her. Now, again, there is a difference between attorneys fighting for justice and attorneys fighting over money.
Yeah,
They're
ambulance chasers.
They are cutthroat when it comes to money. And the type of money she's talking about, it's big money.
Yeah.
The discovery process for her is going to be brutal. They're going to bring up her Facebook lies, the governor's report, you name it. Hey, you want to get $50 out of Adam's estate, I don't care. You want to
Yeah.
sue Kayla? I don't care. But you suing 2 different states, that's big money. This is what she sat through the other day. And by the way, well, I'll get to that in a second.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, so we're going to proceed then with a petition. We now know Mr. Montgomery won't be attending. So, Attorney Caulfield, it's your burden. It's your burden to demonstrate that by clear and convincing evidence that Harmony Montgomery is presumed to have been killed as a result of some catastrophic event, and her body has not or could not be.
Thank you, Your
So
Honor.
you want to proceed by offers of proof?
Certainly.
All right, so who are you going to be making an offer on behalf of?
I'm going to be making an offer on behalf of Ms. Sorey.
All right, Ms. Sorey, I'm going to need to put you under oath. So we're going to proceed on offers of proof. And what this is your attorney will be making an offer on your behalf in order to satisfy the elements of the statute. If she says anything that's incorrect, you have a duty to correct record.
Amy in Boston said she sure as hell showed up to court to legally determine her dead though, didn't she? Yeah, and she wore her best gray hoodie. This is off topic, but what happened to society that when we go to court and we
You dress appropriately. Am I wrong?
No, you're
These
not.
people are nuts.
They show up in lumberjack shirts and their cleanest jeans or their less dirty jeans. You go in front. You're going in front of the. I can't even.
You want to make an impression that you're got a little common sense anyway.
Yeah. You put on a pair of flats. You can buy a tie at an Army for 25 cents. What are you doing showing up in a gray ass hoodie? What are you doing? She'd have been better off wearing her Mickey Mouse costume.
Oh, God. Hang on, I got to feed Kitty.
Okay. Kitty.
I have a few questions for you, and we'll proceed from there. Okay? So please raise your right hand. Do you swear any testimony you give this proceedings the truth and the things and penalties of perjury?
I do.
Go ahead, Attorney.
Thank you, Your Honor. As a housekeeping measure, I do have a copy of the return of service if the court would like to see a copy, and I have the tear sheets from the paper.
Okay, I'll take the copies and we can do the tear sheets so you can see them. Okay, thank you, Attorney Caulfield. Go ahead.
As for the evidence that Harmony is in fact deceased, Your Honor, I would request that the court take judicial notice of the fact that Harmony's father, Adam Montgomery, was recently convicted of murdering Harmony. And more importantly, within that process, Adam confessed to a lesser charge of purposely and unlawfully removing, concealing, and destroying her corpse. In addition to being convicted of her murder, Adam was also convicted on that lesser charge of mishandling her body. Further, Kayla Montgomery, who was a key witness in that trial, also testified to handling Harmony's dead body. These acknowledgments by the 2 people who were last known to have physical custody and care of her should serve as sufficient evidence for the court to accept the presumption that she is in fact deceased. Further, no one has seen this child since December of 2019, when it is believed that Adam murdered her. That's over 3 years ago that she has not been seen by anyone. With respect to appointing Crystal the administrator, she is the child's mother and next of kin. She has priority under RSA 553(2) as her next of kin to administer her estate. And further, under RSA 561(1), she is a beneficiary of the estate. So she is she has a substantial interest in properly managing the estate and protecting it, and is in the best position to do so. Therefore, we request that her petition be granted and that she be appointed accordingly. No one else has filed a petition, so she is the only petition that is currently pending before the court.
Woo! Kimberly.
Colored hair, fake eyelashes, talons, piercings. Where's the tattoo?
ABC, deserves nothing, in my opinion. She deserves less than nothing.
We can agree.
Well, and this is where we're at right now. This
She
came out
deserves the riot.
2 hours ago. Our friend Amy in Boston, let us know. Hang on.
To our newsroom in the Harmony Montgomery case, a judge has just granted a motion to officially declare the little girl dead. Last month, her father, Adam Montgomery, was found guilty of her murder and abuse of her corpse. Harmony's mother, Crystal Sorey, brought the issue to a probate judge following Adam's conviction. Now, today's decision paves the way for Sorey to file a possible wrongful death lawsuit against the state of New Hampshire and Massachusetts in Harmony's death.
If that ain't a slap in the face, poor baby.
And
she
now,
deserves something better.
And now she can do it. Let me tell you what she spent on those talons hanging off of her man hands. She could have bought a proper blouse to wear to court.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
and the hair dye and false eyelashes. Ugh. I can't with these people. Damn grifters, every one of them.
Salt and Cayenne said it's not the government's fault she and he were dope heads. Woo! Damn, Salt and Cayenne. True. But I'm really hoping that Blair and his husband, I never can remember his husband's name, that have Jameson, they put an addendum into her lawsuits that makes sure some of the money goes to Jameson. Because she wants a right to sue letter for each state, New Hampshire and Massachusetts. She's looking at $25 million to New Hampshire. She's looking at $50 million to Massachusetts. And now that this has been released, she will get a right to sue letter from each state, and they'll go forward. And these attorneys, they will work for free to get that 30%.
They want their 30%. All of them nasty. Off a debt that she failed first. Oh, it pisses me.
Yeah.
How dare she?
That is the question of the day. How dare she? You already had Kayla, who witnessed Harmony's murder, proven, that collected getting government assistance in Harmony's name. Now you have her mother, who was still getting government assistance in Harmony's name up until she went to foster care. And I think there was a couple of months that it parlayed back to her. Now Harmony, could you imagine?
Harmony's probably rolling in her grave. She's been used her whole life for money.
$75 million, less 30% from each state. Let's just say she got a cool mill. I'd still
where's our accountant? Where's our accountant?
Kelly said try more like 50% for attorney because it will go to trial. And that's true. I forgot about that. If they can settle out of court, it could be 30-40%. If it goes to trial, 50. So all right, so what's half of 75 million? I'm not good at math. Where's Pat?
2250.
There you go. 22 million, $50 or whatever.
Golly.
And again, the discovery process is not going to work well for Crystal. I have a feeling she is going to get a chunk of change, 100%, because with the publicity and the Harmony Montgomery case, there's no doubt that things happened between the two states.
They'll settle. That's what insurance is for.
They'll
settle.
Yep, and she'll take it.
It makes me sick.
And don't get me wrong, Someone needs to hold these people accountable, but writing
But
a
it
check,
won't.
but
But it
writing a check.
won't. It's going to be paid by the insurance, and nobody's going to be held accountable. Everybody's pointing fingers at everybody else and patting themselves on the back. Oh, it makes me mad.
But the right people that failed Harmony, if we're talking about the system, if we're talking about the judge, the social workers in Massachusetts that didn't send everything to New Hampshire, as stated in the governor's report, see, they won't pay. They won't be held accountable. They won't lose their jobs. It's an insurance thing.
Yep.
And Crystal's not going to do well in the discovery process. She's not, because they're going to have a lot of questions as to why the governor's report said they had been trying to contact her. They're going to have Jameson's fathers on the stand, or however you do it, saying, listen, we had to track her down because we wanted to send gifts to Harmony. So she's not going to get away with playing the grieving mother for this process. Because again, attorneys fight harder to protect insurance money than they do to protect people. Sad fact of the matter, but that's the truth.
Yeah, and her sister, her dollar store story is going to come into play there. That's not going to look good.
Because it epically failed in Gabriel Fernandez. His uncles tried to sue the state of California, and it epically failed.
Yeah.
When they brought all those social workers in, they didn't even charge them. They gave them immunity. So I don't know how this is going to play out. Someone needs to pay, but Crystal does not need to profit.
No, look for her lawyers. We'll settle for $10 million and it to go away.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's not going to work good for her because they're going to dig into everything on her. They're going to dig into all of it. Things that weren't allowed in the murder trial. We'll dig into all of it. Well, everyone, I am so happy everyone came back in for Harmony. We do have another show tomorrow morning. We're going to go through the new charges about Madeline Soto. I will not go through the graphic details of them, but we will certainly tackle that. If you have a second, please consider becoming a member. Please check out the second channel. Seems I was pissing everybody off yesterday, but that's okay. Today's a new day, right?
Yep, just me loved it.
Susan loved it. Brooks loved it. Kat loved it. Chloe loved it. We talk in third person around here anymore. That's how it works. Pat loved it because Pat, she was the only moderator on the sinking ship, but it worked out for her. She just doesn't care. And I just adore that. So you guys have a great rest of your Taco Tuesday. And we'll be back tomorrow to talk about Madeline Soto. Case is getting more grim and more dark by the minute. It'll take me some time to wrap. Brooks needs time to wrap her brain around what all came out today. I'm not as good as these other creators that can just jump right in. I don't need to be the first to talk about it. That's for sure. I've tried it before and I just make a fool out of myself. But that's okay. Right, Susan? That's why I have friends that rein me in.
We love you.
Love you too. Love all of you. So glad you're here. Thank you for hanging in there today for Harmony and every day. So see you guys back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. We're out of here, Susan. Peace out.
Bye, guys.